It was just a bachelorette party. Don't overreact, she said after sleeping with the stripper. So I canceled the wedding and changed states. He scammed her for $8,000. Her maid of honor got dumped, and she stalked me to my new city just to hear no. Hey, viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I'm Alex, 28 at the time, working as a project manager in a mid-sized tech firm in our hometown, a quiet suburb where everyone knows everyone else's business. I met Emily in college. She was studying marketing, full of big dreams about climbing the corporate ladder, but life kept throwing curveballs her way. Early on, she lost her first job after graduation due to company downsizing, and I was there, picking up extra shifts to cover our rent while she job hunted. I didn't mind. That's what you do when you're committed, right? I proposed 2 years into dating, on a simple hike we both loved. No flashy ring or viral video, just us and a promise. Planning the wedding became my second job. Emily wanted it all: the venue overlooking the lake, a live band, custom invitations. I footed most of it, dipping into savings I'd built from side gigs. She was stressed, sure. Her new job at an ad agency demanded long hours, but I handled the details. I'd surprise her with takeout after late nights, listen to her vent about difficult clients, even helped her prep for presentations. Looking back, there were signs she was pulling away. She'd scroll through social media during our dinners, liking posts from old friends about wild nights out. Once, she joked about how boring our routine had become, comparing it to her single days. "Remember when life was spontaneous?" she'd say with a laugh that didn't quite reach her eyes. I brushed it off as wedding jitters. Her bachelorette party was the big event before the wedding, just 2 weeks out. Organized by her maid of honor, Sarah, a college friend who'd always been a bit too involved in our relationship. Sarah was the type who thrived on drama, posting cryptic stories online about living your best life. Emily assured me it was just a girls' night. Dinner, drinks, maybe dancing at a club. No big deal. I trusted her completely. Hell, I even chipped in for the limo rental to make sure they got home safe. That night, I stayed in, binge-watching shows and texting her goodnight. She responded with hearts and "miss you already." I went to bed feeling like the luckiest guy alive. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a call from Sarah. Not Emily. That should have been my first red flag. I picked up, expecting some hungover story or request for coffee runs. Instead, Sarah sounded casual, almost giggly, like she was sharing juicy gossip. "Hey, Alex," she started, her voice light. "So, last night got a little crazy at the party. We hired this stripper, total hottie, and things escalated a bit with Emily. But come on, it's a bachelorette. Boys will be boys, or whatever. You get it, right? Don't make a mountain out of it." I froze, staring at the wall. "What do you mean, escalated?" I asked, keeping my tone even, though my stomach twisted. She laughed, actually laughed. "Oh, you know, a lap dance turned into more. They hooked up in the hotel room after. But it's not like it counts. It's tradition. Emily said you'd understand. She's probably still sleeping it off. Just wanted to give you a heads up so you don't freak when she tells you." Tradition? Understand? My mind raced back to all the times I'd put her first, canceled plans with friends to be there for her, save for that dream honeymoon she wanted in Europe. And now this, dismissed like a bad joke. I thanked Sarah politely and hung up, my hands shaking. I sat there for what felt like hours, replaying our life together. The confusion hit hard. Was I really that blind? Had I been a placeholder all along? But I didn't lash out. I waited for Emily to come home. Emily walked in around noon, looking a little worse for wear, smudged makeup, hair in a messy bun. She smiled when she saw me on the couch, dropping her bag and coming over for a hug like nothing happened. "Babe, last night was insane. We had so much fun. How was your evening?" I pulled back slightly. "Sarah called me this morning," I said calmly. "Told me about the stripper." Her face shifted, first surprise, then annoyance. She rolled her eyes and plopped down next to me. Oh God, she beat me to it. "Look, Alex, it was nothing. Just a bachelorette party thing. Don't overreact." "Nothing," I repeated, keeping my voice steady. "You slept with him. That's not nothing." She sighed dramatically, like I was the one being unreasonable. "Okay, fine, we hooked up." But it didn't mean anything. It was one last night of freedom before we settled down. You've had your fun in the past, right? This is the same. It's not like I love the guy. He was just there, entertaining us. Sarah thought it was hilarious. I stared at her, the words sinking in. Freedom? From what? The life we'd built together. The one where I'd been her rock through every setback? Flashbacks flooded me. The time she cried in my arms after a bad performance review, and I stayed up all night helping her revise her resume. The weekends I spent assembling wedding favors while she partied with friends. And now, this twisted logic, like cheating was some rite of passage. So, you're saying it's okay because it's a party? I asked, not raising my voice. Exactly, she snapped, getting defensive. You're acting like I murdered someone. It's tradition, girls do this stuff. If you can't handle it, maybe you're not ready for marriage. I mean, come on, Alex. Grow up. It was just sex. We can still get married. Nothing's changed for me. Nothing's changed for her. But everything had for me. Her smug tone, the way she dismissed my feelings like they were petty, it stung deeper than the act itself. She leaned in, trying to touch my arm. Babe, let's not ruin everything over this. I still want to marry you. It was a mistake, but not a big one. I stood up, needing space. The room felt smaller, the air thicker. I paced to the kitchen, gripping the counter. Confusion swirled. How could she justify this? Was I overreacting, like she said? No, I told myself. This wasn't about tradition. It was betrayal, plain and simple. She'd made me feel like a backup plan, someone safe to return to after her fun. But I didn't yell or beg. I just nodded slowly. Okay, Emily. I hear you. She smiled, thinking she'd won. Good. So we're cool? Let's grab lunch and forget about it. I didn't respond right away. Instead, I thought about the deposits I'd lose, the explanations I'd have to give. But staying? That wasn't an option. The unfairness of it all burned. Me, loyal to a fault, discarded so casually. I sat with it for a moment, letting the silence stretch. Finally, I looked at her. No, we're not cool. Her eyes widened. What? Alex, don't be dramatic. It's not that serious. But it was. And in that moment, I knew what I had to do. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I lay there staring at the ceiling, replaying her words. One last night of freedom. As if our relationship was a cage. The confusion gnawed at me. Had I been too predictable, too safe? I'd given up weekends hiking with buddies to help her study for certifications. Skipped a promotion opportunity that required travel because she didn't want to be alone. All for what? To be humiliated like this. By morning, I'd made my decision. No confrontation, no screaming match. I got up early, made coffee like any other day. Emily was still asleep when I started calling vendors. The venue rep was sympathetic but firm, non-refundable deposit, $5,000 down the drain. The caterer, another $2,000. The band, florist, photographer. I canceled them all, taking the financial hit without complaint. It hurt, wiping out months of savings, but staying would cost more in the long run. When Emily woke up, I was packing a suitcase. She rubbed her eyes, confused. What are you doing? Canceling the wedding, I said matter-of-factly. And moving out. She laughed at first, thinking it was a joke. Then panic set in. Alex, wait, you can't just do that. We can talk this out. But I was done talking. I kept packing, focusing on essentials, clothes, laptop, a few books. My phone started blowing up, first her mom, then mine. I answered my parents honestly when they asked why the sudden change. Emily cheated at her bachelorette party. I can't go through with it. They were shocked, supportive. Her family? Her mom called me, voice dripping with disapproval. Boys will be boys, Alex. Don't throw away a good thing over one slip-up. I didn't argue, just repeated the facts and hung up. Sarah texted too, all caps. You're overreacting. Emily's devastated. I ignored it. Within a week, I'd arranged a transfer with my company to a branch in a city a few states away, something I'd considered before but held off for Emily. Now it was perfect. I loaded my car, left the key on the counter, and drove off without a goodbye note. No social media posts, no dramatic announcements. Just gone. The drive was long, giving me time to process. Loneliness hid in waves. Nights in cheap motels, questioning if I'd been too hasty. The silence was deafening. No text from her at first, which stung more than I expected. But as miles passed, clarity came. I wasn't the villain here. I'd been loyal, committed, and she treated me like an afterthought. In the new city, I rented a small apartment, threw myself into work. Promotions came faster without distractions. I started hiking again, made new friends at a local gym. The confusion faded, replaced by a quiet resolve. I wasn't broken, I was free. Little did I know, her world was about to crumble while mine rebuilt. Settling into the new city was easier than I expected. Work kept me busy, my team noticed the focus, and I landed a lead on a big project within months. Weekends were for exploring trails, grabbing coffee with new acquaintances who didn't know my backstory. No drama, just forward motion. Back home, though, things were unraveling for Emily, and I heard about it piecemeal through the grapevine. Mutual friends who'd sided with me initially, or the occasional update from my family. It started with this stripper, who turned out to be no stripper at all. His name was Jake, and he was an escort with a side hustle and scams. From what I pieced together, after the Bachelorette party, he didn't just vanish like a one-night thing. He texted Emily the next day, playing the charming guy who'd felt a real connection. She bit hard. Maybe it was guilt or rebellion against the canceled wedding, but she started seeing him casually. At first, it was dates, flirty messages. Then he spun stories about needing help, a business opportunity that required a quick loan, car repairs to visit her, even fake medical bills for a sick family member. Emily, fresh off losing the wedding deposits and dealing with judgmental whispers from our circle, was vulnerable. She wired him money, first a couple hundred, then thousands. By the time she realized it was a con, he drained her for about $8,000. Poof, ghosted, blocked, gone. Her life spiraled from there. The ad agency job? She started slipping, late arrivals, distracted during meetings. Word got around about the cheating and the scam. Clients pulled back, and she got let go after a big pitch flopped. Friends distanced themselves, our mutual ones, anyway. They'd heard the full story from me or Sarah's loose lips, and the hypocrisy was too much. Emily posted vague rants on social media about fake people and bad luck, but it only made her look unhinged. Isolation set in. She moved back in with her parents, scraping by on freelance gigs that barely covered bills. And Sarah? Her karma hit like a boomerang. Defending Emily's tradition backfired spectacularly. Her boyfriend, who'd always been on the fence about her drama-loving ways, overheard a call where she doubled down. It was just fun. Guys are too sensitive these days. He dumped her on the spot, calling her out for enabling betrayal. Sarah's social circle shrank too. People saw her as toxic, the kind of friend who stirs the pot, then plays victim. She tried spinning it online, but it fell flat. Last I heard, she was single, job hopping, and regretting that heads-up call to me. I didn't gloat. Hearing it all secondhand, I felt a detached satisfaction, like watching a movie where the villain gets their due. It was ironic. Emily's quest for freedom chained her to regret and debt. Me? I was hiking mountains, closing deals, even dipping my toe into dating with someone genuine. The unfairness of the betrayal lingered in quiet moments, but it fueled my growth. I'd sit on my balcony, sipping coffee, thinking how close I'd come to a lifetime of that manipulation. No more confusion, just clear skies ahead. But Emily wasn't done trying to drag me back. A couple months after my move, the outreach started. At first, it was subtle, a text from an unknown number. "Hey, it's Emily. Can we talk? I miss you." I didn't respond. Then calls, voicemails piling up. Her family got involved too, just like I'd half expected. Her mom left messages guilting me. "Alex, you're breaking her heart." Families forgive mistakes. Toxic, pushy, the lot of them, acting like I owed them reconciliation. One evening, my phone rang while I was cooking dinner. I answered without checking, thinking it was work. It was Emily, voice soft and pleading at first. "Alex, thank God you picked up. I've been a mess without you." That night, it was stupid, a huge mistake. Jake turned out to be a total scam artist. He took everything, my savings, my trust. Work fired me, friends ghosted. "I need you. We were good together, remember? Let's start over." I stayed silent for a beat, chopping vegetables. Her hypocrisy shone through, twisting it like her pain erased mine. "Come on," she pressed, a whine creeping in. "You can't just throw us away. I know I hurt you, but life's falling apart here. Help me fix this." "No," I said simply, and hung up. Blocked the number. It escalated from there. A week later, another call, from Sarah's phone this time. I picked up, curious. Emily's voice again, desperate now. Sarah let me use her phone. Alex, please. I'm sorry, okay? I was smug, dismissive, I see that now. But you're acting like a child, running away to another state. Come back. We can rebuild. I love you. Love? After justifying the betrayal like it was nothing, her logic flipped. Now I was the immature one. I could hear the edge in her tone, the manipulation turning to frustration. You're really going to ignore me? After everything I did for our relationship, she snapped, showing those true colors. Fine, be that way. But you'll regret it when I'm gone for good. I ended the call without a word, blocked Sarah too. Friends messaged next. Hers, mostly, unpleasant pleas like, dude, give her a chance. She's changed. One even accused me of being heartless. I ignored them all, deleting as they came. Emily's attempts grew frantic. Emails from new accounts, detailing her rock bottom, debt collectors calling, sleeping on her parents' couch. This is your fault for overreacting. One read, anger bubbling over. It revealed the entitlement I'd missed before. Through it all, I felt nothing but resolve. No sympathy, no second thoughts. Her desperation was her problem now. I'd evolved past the confusion, building a life where she had no place. But she wasn't done. She tracked me down, showing up unannounced. That was the final nail. It was a crisp fall afternoon when she appeared at my door. I'd just gotten home from a meeting, briefcase in hand, when the knock came. Through the peephole, there she was, Emily, looking worn. Dark circles, rumpled clothes, like she'd driven straight through. Mutual contacts must have slipped my address. Small world, even states away. I opened the door halfway, keeping it professional, like dealing with a solicitor. Alex, she breathed, eyes wide. She glanced past me, taking in the apartment, sleek furniture I'd picked out, a view of the city skyline, photos on the wall from recent hikes with new friends. Maybe she spotted the jacket from my casual date the night before, draped over a chair. The contrast hit her, me thriving, her desperate. I drove all this way. We need to talk. Please. I stepped outside, closing the door behind me, no invitation in. Calm, factual, like closing a deal. What is there to say? Tears welled up. Everything's gone wrong since you left. Jake scammed me, work's a disaster. Even Sarah's life imploded because of this. I realize now, you were the best thing I had. I was stupid, manipulative. Take me back. We can move here together, start fresh. Her words echoed her old excuses, flipped into pleas. Hypocrisy at its finest, but I didn't call it out. Just facts. You wanted one last night of freedom, I said evenly. Enjoy the rest of your life with it. She blinked, stung. That's it. After all we had. I nodded. I've built something here, new job, new people, real peace. You're not part of it. Your choices led you here, not mine. This conversation's over. No emotion, no lingering care. She was irrelevant now, a chapter closed. She stammered, but I need you. Don't do this. Goodbye, Emily. I turned, went inside, and locked the door. She knocked a few more times, called out, but I didn't respond. Blocked any remaining channels that night. That was the end. No more outreach, no drama. Life moved on. Promotions, a solid relationship with someone who values loyalty, weekends free of betrayal shadow. Looking back, the betrayal was outrageous, undeserved, but it taught me my worth. I'm not confused anymore. I'm clear, calm, and completely free. If you're reading this and going through something similar, walk away with dignity. Karma handles the rest. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.